Hey there, in today's video, I'm gonna share some of the dumbest reasons I've heard people use as their rationale for taking early Social Security. Now, I know this may seem harsh and might even catch you off guard. Those of you who have followed me for a while, you know that I'm a nice guy, so saying that some people make dumb decisions may sound uncharacteristically mean. So if my tone of this video offends you, I apologize in advance, but geez Louise, we're talking about making the most out of what may be your largest source of retirement income. And I'm tired of seeing people make the same mistakes, especially the silly ones that could have been easily avoided. So today I want to go over these 3 reasons, and the last one is the one that I hear all the time. So let me be really clear first. I'm not implying that the people who base their filing decisions on one of these reasons are stupid people. When I start covering these in a moment, you'll see that all of these reasons are emotionally driven. They appeal to our logic and our basic human desire to avoid uncertainty. Now, some of the people who make a filing decision based on one of these reasons are really smart people. They just made a decision based on emotions and ignored the other factors that they should have also considered. You know, the filing decision is something that we talk about quite often on this channel. Just a few weeks before I published this video, I released another video called 5 Smart Reasons to File for Social Security at 62. Now, this isn't doublespeak. I think that there are some really good reasons to file for early Social Security benefits, but those only apply in some circumstances. Ultimately, there's no one-size-fits-all answer to when you should file. There's a lot you should consider. And a side note here, if you want a deeper understanding of the factors that you should consider, be sure to check out my free online workshop, How to Choose the Right Age to File for Social Security. In this workshop, I'll cover the most important factors you need to consider before you file for benefits. Just set aside nearly an hour because we go pretty deep here. I'll put a link to the workshop in the description below. Oh, and hey, if you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, you really should. There's lots of changes coming in the next few years, and when they start to happen, I'll be right here breaking them down so you can get every dollar in benefits that you deserve. So what are these 3 reasons that I think are really ill-conceived rationales for filing at 62? Let's dive into this. First, we have dumb reason number 1. There's a government conspiracy to get you to file when you're older. Look, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, Devin, no one really believes that. But let me assure you, there are some people who believe that the government doesn't want them to file early because if you wait to file, you may die and the government gets to keep that money. So therefore, by filing early, you've just disrupted the grand plan of the government. Now, for anyone who thinks this advice suggesting that you wait until you're older to file is actually just a government conspiracy, let's go back and do a real quick history lesson. In 1935, the Social Security Act was signed into law. Then in 1940, Ida Mae Fuller received the first of the monthly checks that went out. And it wasn't until 1956 that filing early before full retirement age was even allowed. And even then, only women could file at age 62. In 1961, the law was amended yet again to allow men to file early. Now, if you look at the explanation of the law, it says, the fact is that the problem of the older worker who cannot get a job continues to exist in good times as well as bad, and the Social Security program should be flexible enough to take account of this problem. So this was a provision that was added to the Social Security Act years after it was created for the explicit purpose of allowing flexibility in the filing decision. So anyone that says waiting to file until you reach full retirement age is a government trick that they use to try to save money and avoid paying out benefits is frankly someone who's badly misinformed and just ignorant of the whole history and purpose of the program. And then dumb reason number 2, I may die early. I've heard this over and over. Devin, I filed early because you better take what you can get while you can get it. I mean, after all, you may die early. I can't tell you how many comments I have on my videos that are a version of what this viewer said. He said, at age 70, you're pretty much dead. Most of the people at age 70 have just a few months left to live. Therefore, it would be smarter to retire earlier and enjoy the few years left. Now, I think most of my viewers who are 70 plus would strongly disagree with that viewer's perspective, but his comment reflects a belief that I see all the time by those who are getting close to 62 and the potential of monthly checks from Social Security. Here's the thing. If you already have an illness it might make sense to file for early Social Security. That's one of the things that I cover in the video with the 5 smart reasons to file at 62. Now, that means that dying early is less of a doom and gloom outlook and more of a realistic view of your situation. But acting purely on a hunch that you might die early, that is a bunch of nonsense. If we look at the long-term trend in life expectancies, we'll see that the average life expectancy has increased by 25 years over the last century. And I think that's going to continue to increase as well. And even if you do die early, have you ever stopped to consider how those increased benefits that you would get from filing later could benefit the spouse that you leave behind? And one of the core reasons I say you need to work through your filing decision is what kind of spousal impact is it going to have? Let's look at the actual numbers on life expectancies here. This is directly from the Social Security Administration. If you're 65 years old today, you can expect to live to about 84 if you're a man and 86 if you're a woman. And with those stats in mind, it's imperative that individuals plan their Social Security filing strategy with the mindset of, I may live a long time, instead of, I need to hurry up and file in case I die. And now for dumb reason number 3, Social Security may not be here in the future. You know, in every Social Security statement that you get, there's a section that contains the following language. Your estimated benefits are based on current law. Congress has made changes to the law in the past and can do so at any time. The law governing benefits amount may change because by 2035, the payroll taxes collected will be enough to pay only about 80% of scheduled benefits. Look, there's no question that the Social Security Administration faces some real challenges ahead. But opting to file for early Social Security because you're paranoid the system may not be there in a few years just doesn't hold water. Let me show you why. Let's say that your benefit at your full retirement age of 67 would be $2,000. At 62, that would give you a benefit of $1,400. Now, let's further assume that there's no changes made to the Social Security law to make up for this upcoming shortfall that we have coming in 2035. In fact, let's say that in 2035, benefits are cut across the board by 80%. Here's the question I have for you. Would you rather get 80% of $2,000 or 80% of $1,400? Now, I think we know the answer to that, so not filing because you might have a benefit cut in the future, just doesn't work as good reasoning. At the end of the day, I think there's a lot of people that file early, and they do it for the wrong reasons. I would strongly encourage you to get informed. This is your retirement. Take charge and make great decisions about this stuff. You generally only get one shot at doing it right. At the end of this video, I'm going to put a direct link to my video on 5 smart reasons to file at 62. Watch that and see if any of those reasons apply to you. And if they don't, you need to set aside the time to watch my free online workshop and start working through this decision. Also, I'd love to hear your comments here down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on filing early versus filing later? I'd love to hear from you. I may not get a chance to respond to all of the comments, but I do read those, so I look forward to seeing you down below. Thanks for watching.